The pressure that comes with being a pastor's kid is too much because you are the standard bearer. Your father knows too well that if you get pregnant, a lot of people will say, see, I know if you can't train with you, everybody preach against fornication. Meanwhile, you won't begin the fornicator, all this why will not know. They know. So it comes with that pressure.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. My name is Dr. Priye Oarhe, and I am the host of the Healing Table. Today, I'm so excited as I want two very wonderful people to join me on the table as we deal with a topic that is very disturbing to a lot of young youth, the Gen Zs, the Alphas, their hearts, as in, why did I find myself in this situation? So today with me is a very dear sister Vicky June, and also the mayor of Otakwa, KOBaba.
Yes.
So you're welcome to the table.
The healing table.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having us today.
Okay, so today we'll just be dealing with the topic, the pastor's child. Introduce yourself and let us.
Good afternoon, listeners. Welcome to the Healing Table. I am Vicky June. I am a teacher and a coach, a parent, a sister, a mother, and a wife. My life as a pastor's daughter, I'm the first in a family of 6. Born to pastor. My dad started as a region overseer in Deeper Life Bible Church. So I grew up finding myself
Deeper Life Bible Church, and she's very troubled.
as much as I know, my dad has been a pastor, so we grew up in the home of a pastor, so I can be addressed as a proper pastor's child. And growing up in the home of a pastor and like a church, like I said, Deeper Life Bible Church, the pressure was much. The expectations were.
Before we go into that, let's go to KOBaba to tell us about. KOBaba is a pastor's child. He's a pastor's child.
But my dad has been late for years.
But that does not stop me from being a pastor's child.
I think there are two very popular. There are a lot of churches in the Good Mole Street, my two due, Assemblies of God and Manzion Holy Ghost Church. So my dad used to pastor. He was the general overseer of Manzion Holy Ghost Church, and I had we are 7, 5 boys, 2 girls. I'm the 4th son. I dropped my elder brothers at there. My dad is late, but 2 of my elder brothers are pastors having their own ministries at the
Wow.
The 3rd son is the one now pastoring the church that my late father was pastoring. Me, I'm not a pastor, but I'm more of a gospel-centric person, no doubt. But I consider it wise because the pressure that comes from that angle, even being the pastor's kid, was much. But I'm happy that I was a pastor's kid because it came with so much value.
Yeah.
Yes, so much value. Yes.
Oh wow, thank you. You know, I was talking to them. I met a very wonderful lady in Lagos, and I went to a redeem camp, and I sat next to a young girl. She just finished university, and she told me, "Oh, her father was like a superintendent, a very senior person in the church." And I asked her, "So how is it like being a pastor?" And she said, "I don't wish I was." And I was like, oh, I understand the pressure, the. So how was life like growing up as a pastor child in the church setting and outside?
Yes, in the church, it's not different from the church settings and outside because everybody know you as a pastor's child, so you're practically carrying that label on your head. Mm-hmm. Yes, the pressure is much. It's unbelievable. Everybody expects you to act a certain way. Act like the pastor that you are not. You're just the child of the pastor. I remember a particular time growing up that my sister had to address some women, and she was like, if you are looking for good examples, please, you have Bible characters like Esther, you have Bible characters like Mary, so please go to the Bible and take cue from them. So there's this expectation for you to be perfect, to do everything the right way. And especially when you come from churches like ours that preach holiness, and the holiness is taken to a level where they expect you to just be like Christ. And even for things that are not really sinful, this expectation is just high. So you're coming back from school, you're coming with your friends, and you're working with a boy. The next story that's going around is that the pastor's child has a boyfriend, is hanging out with a boy. So it affects you socially. It affects you in every aspect of your life. You're coming back from school, and as they're coming, everybody will say, please stay on that side of the road. Let us stay on this side of the road. So there are some expectations that are unrealistic, and that is the pressure that is mounted, that you see people making comments like, I wish I am not a pastor's child, because every child who just wants to be a child and just grow up. So those are the expectations that come with being a pastor's child that you see people running away from. But that does not negate the fact that they are the positive side. Just like KOBaba said, when you're a pastor's child, those expectations make you. So it can either make or mar you, depending on how you react to them. Those expectations.
KOBaba, you are the son of the general overseer. Did you have that pressure, or maybe because you're a guy, then doesn't that matter?
Yes. You always have that pressure, even if you don't want to have it. Your parents will put it on.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's the thing, because
you have to behave yourself.
You have to behave yourself. Yes, they know that there are a lot of people in the church, and they are seeing them as a standard of child training, good upbringing, raising children that are good. So they will always call your attention. And but my father was doing that a lot. You miss service, they will beat you, they will flog you. If you know church for night, you can't. Why didn't you come to evening service and everything? So it was like that to an extent. But I think my major challenge is because we accept the comparison. That's where I fault my parents today in most of those times. My sisters were the wahala, not boys, because the boys were already very active. Even my sisters were still very wahala. They were still very active in church. Yes, my father was able to put that in place. And it was also easier because at some point we moved from Iba Street D line to the church premises. And it was easier now for you to know you must attend service, you must attend children rehearsal, you must attend everything. So looking back, I would say the pressure that comes with being a pastor's kid is too much, because you are the standard bearer, which that's not what God wants. But you can't help. Your father knows too well that if you get pregnant, a lot of people will say, see, I know if you carry through with you, then God will preach against fornication. Meanwhile, you won't begin the fornicator, all this why will not know. They know. So it comes with that pressure. Your father will flog you, they will scold you, they will cage you.
Was your childhood, did any of you feel that your childhood was taken from you? Or your teenage years, when your friends are supposed to be enjoying party and whatever, inside church. Was there any time you peeped out through the window and felt like, oh, I'm missing out? Let me start with you.
Okay. Before I go into that, let me just address the aspect of the parents' mounting pressure, because it's closely related to what we're talking about now. I think I should use this opportunity to give credit to my parents for doing an absolute a good job with that. My parents tried as much as it was in their power, because the pressure is from outside too, from the church. So you find them being in a situation where they want to be laid back with you, but they don't have a choice. So let me give it to my parents that they really did a good job with managing us. They reduced the pressure. They were not that hard on us. So I give my parents kudos to that. In as much as they wanted us to be the best, they were still liberal with us, because some pastors took it to the level of even forcing their children on the courses they want to read in the university. It was that bad. You can't come and tell your parents you want to read some courses. They're expecting you to do theology, to do things that, in fact, they're expecting the first son of a pastor to even toe that line to be a pastor. And maybe that would not be. So I think I should give in to my parents that they were liberal. And that is what parents should do. Try and understand that your children are children, and don't mount more pressure on them as compared to the pressure that is outside. So yes, coming to the aspect of thinking your childhood, it is not just in the aspect of being a pastor's child. Even with celebrities, you see those challenges. A child is growing up, and because you want to move in that direction, there's this pressure to grow up You cannot associate with other children around. So this pressure is not just streamlined to just pastors' children. So it is there. When there's responsibility on your parents, you find out that responsibility comes down, it trickles down to you. So yes, at some point you will think your childhood was taken away from you. So it is the duty of the parents to strike a balance. Strike a balance. Find time to be with your children. Take them out. Sometimes take them out of that environment and those things that they would naturally enjoy with their friends. You can take your children as a pastor for a vacation, so you can give them that environment with them and not just keeping them in that tight space, boxing them up. Although my parents didn't really take us out for I'm just saying because I understand the situation now, but I think my parents gave us some grace. They listen to us. That's what they listen to us. So sometimes your parents, the pastors are not even listening to the children. They are just taking the feedback from the streets. This, your children are this, your children are that. My dad will ask you, what happened? So he will listen to you and you say your side of the story. I remember the day that they chased us out of class because we came late to school and we had to hang around. We can't go home now. So we hung around in the area. And somebody just saw me and what I started hearing was that I'm joining bad boys. I'm hanging in a place that they are smoking. What's my business with? We just left school. Every child ran out of class because they chased us out of class. Go home. We couldn't go home, so we're just stuck, just hanging around. The next thing that my parents, when I went to my head, that the report had already gone home.
Like the report got home before you.
Before me, the report goes home before you. So that person has called and called.
The funny thing is, we were standing with some church members' children, and this person saw one brother, this child, sister, this. The concern was the pastor's
child.
Yes, and that's the thing. For me too, from my point of view, I will not deny the fact that I had that feelings because they are doing a party and the party, get group with the place as kimono, they don't allow you to dance. Your partner said as kimono like demonic something. I see the thing. So we had all of that experience. Travel to the village for Christmas. We are not allowed to watch masquerade.
Yeah, masquerade.
Oh, really?
We can't deny that we as children were not. I can't deny that fact because I'm a realist. Even when I was small, people used to know that I'm very outspoken. They would say, "CK was short there," but are we talking mind? They knew that I was very outspoken, and I have had one or two times where I asked questions: Why are you stopping us from watching this masquerade? Waiting there, say, demon will enter your body. They said, as we go back Port Harcourt, they will conduct deliverance for you. That's what you will hear that. And our own case was even difficult because it's not just that my father was disciplining you. My two of my elder brothers, the first and second, my father had a police who, like, let me say, there's a commissioner of police, and that commissioner have assistant commissioner of police, operations and admin commissioner. So I had our first son and second son adding more pressure to whatever pressure our dad was adding. Yes. So I have all of that experience, and I feel that it was not all negative. Yes. I remember when we were still staying in Malay Street, I'll not forget this day because from this story, 4 or 5 of the boys I'm talking about are all dead now.
Oh, wow.
So I had some boys we used to play ball together. So I was sitting with them somewhere. I was sitting with them, me, Abacha, a couple of boys then, the bad boys around the area. But they're not too bad like that. Then the second son, see what God doing was passing. I said, "What are you doing there?" I was trying to come and leave that place and go to my father, see where is he done with this kind of boys and every kind of boys. But let's say if I was not receiving, because even on that particular conversation, you don't know the kind of person be. If then they see you sit down with that person and people will walk out, they come church, there's always that metric where they use it measuring you because you're a pastor's kid. Yeah. Fast forward to many years after, they turned whatever they had to the cult they used to call baby boys. And they terrorized areas and they fast forward to today. I speak to you, I think like 3 or 4 of these some set of boys were killed in the process. Let me see if I was not a pastor's kid or they were not seen from that angle. You don't need to go close to this people because you're a pastor's kid. I will doing that. It's not all bad, but I think that in today's world, introducing children to ministry and giving them life balance is better. It's more difficult because of social media and all the Gen Z factors. But if you really want to do it, it's better. I have a couple of pastors' kids I talked to recently. I just tell them, you don't want to be a pastor, but you want to also be serving God. Not because your father is a pastor, but because you see that God is using your father, and God is making him have peace of mind and progress, and you wish that for yourself. Yes. And of course, it's not easy. They will always judge you, whether old, whether young, they will always judge you. They will always judge you. People like kids, your father will be very popular. Yes, I feel for him most times. Because even if you wanted to do a genre of music that is not worship, people will still judge you from it. The judgment around the pastor's kid is too much. Yes. Too much.
But I think it's a bit better now with this. There is a lot of those days. I used to tell my husband is the pastor, and I used to tell him that when you guys were born again, the level of Jim, it's not like right now.
Yes.
Now it's like come the way you are, you're very okay.
Yes.
Heaven will just be a very interesting place right now. So I believe that now.
You don't then in the carry belly, you did for back of church. Suspension. Now if you even carry belly, nobody will suspend you. The boy give you belly, go just come, talk sorry for family, talk sorry for pastor. Then constantly they enter church. You will do choir with pregnancy. I don't want to say the standards are dropped, but I just feel that it's easier for this
set of
generation, because the world has become more flexible and tolerate too many things. Sadly, some of the things they are tolerating are not supposed to be tolerated. Yes, some of the things they are tolerating are not supposed to be tolerated. Somebody shared a story with me. There's a church set in Ashawa that every time they want to give a youth president, the pastor wants them to give it to a Yahoo boy. Because the Yahoo boy will host big concerts, the youth conference, the youth week will be very large, even their presentation. So we even have people in those kind of places. So if that kind of man, a pastor, when if he tolerate that kind of thing, in children don't mind if he join those kind of things. So we've had all of those factors. Yes, it's less than now. For us, we had a lot. In fact, for us, like my dad, you will join fasting. You will go for evangelism.
You join fasting. Yes, you go for evangelism.
You go for evangelism. You will a lot when they are doing Children's Day and they are giving other scriptures like 3, 4. You will make sure that his children have more Bible verse
than others.
And so when recitation reach for the day of the function, recite that well. You answer question for house and everything. It was difficult, but I don't think.
But that built you to who you are.
Yes.
Let me ask a question. Being a pastor church, does it give you confidence? Like today, you stand in front of me. You had a fantastic program. Your program was lovely, so lovely. Did it help in your foundation where you were coming from? Did it help you to dealing with the stage? Because being a pastor church, from the day you'll be standing in front of the church.
Okay, maybe I should jump in at this point. Just like we stated when we started, we have to keep the balance. It had the downsides and the upsides. And for the upsides, when just like it's often said, to whom much is given, much is expected. That situation actually molded us to be who we are today. And just like he mentioned, with the fact that things he didn't want to say that the standard has dropped, but I think as a whole, the background of being a pastor's child made us what we are today. We can still look back and say yes, this discipline, all the pressure made us who we are, because you have to coordinate others, you have to be the leader. So you see most pastors' children taking the cue. You have to be the leader. You have to lead you cannot lead from behind. You have to lead from the front. So everything molded us to be who we are today, except with the exception of those that didn't really want to take it at all.
Let me ask you a question. At what point did you start wearing trousers? She's wearing trousers.
Must you make that obvious?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Because she's from Deeper Life.
yes, okay.
Deeper Life is a wonderful church,
Yes.
don't get me wrong. Very wonderful. But she don't wear trousers. So at what point did she start wearing trousers?
Okay.
Is your husband also from?
Yes. I got married to a Deeper Life by the grace of God.
Nice.
So it's not all bad. Just like I said, the parents have a role to play. It's not just about saying, oh, you must. The parents, after the pressure, regardless of the pressure coming out from outside, the parents have to still sit with their children and let them know, well, this thing is for your good. Children have to understand the reason why they are doing whatever they are doing.
You know, that's what happened. They'll just tell you, don't do this,
Yes.
don't do that,
So why?
don't do this.
Why?
And the why is because you're a pastor.
Yes.
It's such
So they have to understand what they are doing. If you're telling a child, you have to be serious in life. You use yourself as an example. I tell my children, I say, my dad will tell you, when you grow up, the money that you will make, it will not come to my account. It will go to your account. So if you follow cultists, they will kill you. If you get pregnant, it will stall your education. So that is why I'm telling you, don't follow. You are flesh and blood. If you go into a room with a guy, you only know your intention. You don't know the intention of the guy. In fact, let me bring this real life situation here. Just like I would say, there's always this pressure. Sometimes that pressure will even lead you astray. The pressure will just come and put you into a problem. So normally you don't want to be seen with a guy, right? So since I'm genuine now, maybe I go to my classmate, I want to retrieve my book or I want to collect a lesson note. Now, there's this pressure from outside that I should not be seen standing with a guy. Nobody cares what we're talking about. They just know that, Vicky is standing with, Pastor Zota is standing with a guy. So there's this day, I went to get my book. We're coming back. He took my book. I didn't know what was his intention. I don't need to be standing outside because the narrative will go quickly that I'm standing with a boy. So I'm like, okay, let me come in. Let me stay inside so they don't see me outside. So as I went in, I only know my intentions. I didn't know what was in his mind. So he took advantage of that situation that I was in the room with him. And the next thing, he was not bringing my book. He was turning around. The next thing, arrow don't change, door don't lock. And we started struggling. It was only God that saved me. His sister now knocked on the door. So he had to open the door. I did not wait for my book again. That is how I left. So there are a lot of pastors' children that will tell you that they got into situations because of these unnecessary expectations. It pushed them into problematic situations. So parents really need to sit with their children. Pastors that have children need to sit with their children and say, these things that we are saying is for your good. Attend service, do this is for your good. Stay in and give those examples. Look at this person. He has gone astray and see
There's
how
something that's coming to my heart. Did your father have time for family? For you?
Yes.
Or he was doing all church. You know, there are some pastors that, like you, your father was general overseer. They have so much
many programs.
programs
to
that
and
the family and raising. How were you people raised? Was it a present dad?
Yes, he was because in these days families don't value money devotion. But I think way back it was compulsory.
It was compulsory.
Monday to Friday.
Those that were not pastors. My father was not a pastor, but he tried to start it. But after a while, my God.
Monday to Friday. The one we not do on Saturday now because either night vigil or early morning or Saturday morning we go for
evangelism.
That morning cry.
Right.
Yes, every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So that's So with that, it was like a plus for us. Always having most of the morning devotion was preaching, and at a point, the days is not preaching, we will rotate it this week to go Monday, you on Tuesday, you on Wednesday, you on Thursday, you on Friday. That's how it was done in my family. And it was raising preachers because most of us were young when we were doing that. And then the one that is also very compulsory is in the night, if you had a crime and you were running around 12 midnight, they will revisit that case.
Yes.
They don't revisit it after morning devotion. They will revisit your matter with king. Yes.
After praying.
When God don't forgive you, your father will forgive you. Yeah. So it was that good for some of us. And let me talk about a reality case. There are cases where I know a lot, not one, not two, not three, people who have fathers that are going to ministry and they are never available for their child. Now, what has happened of recent too, because there are a lot of open doors and breakthroughs, and most parents send their children abroad. They are not available. The child is there, the papa there, and when they come back, there's a particular case in Port Harcourt I witnessed it. when they come back from their holidays, they are disconnected from
Completely.
completely. They don't want to attend that particular church.
Church anymore.
You just know that you just sent your son, and the guy went in there, and it's like freedom. And freedom is dangerous when people are seeing it from the point of I can do anything. It's not when you see freedom from the point of I can explore myself, I can unleash my potential, I can become a better person, I can make decisions on my own, and those decisions I must make sure they are right. That's when freedom is good. But when freedom say, hey, thank God, now I fit chop what I want, I fit drink what I want. I speak with a lot of pastors' kids. I was telling a young man, I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, and I don't like all of the humanizing thing. And I don't want to judge people who drink or smoke now. But this is what I feel, that there are certain things you do, and people can easily suggest more silly things. There are certain things you do, and people can begin to show you options that are wide. Because
like algorithm now.
Yes, if I yeah, like algorithm. If I come into somewhere and then I light up cigarette, nothing stops the next guy who has the tramadol or ice, yes, to offer you. Yes, if I go, yes, if I go into somewhere and then I want to talk all kinds, like you have part of a conversation that is vulgar and everything, there's nothing stop the next guy from giving you options that are criminal on it.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I said,
because you're speaking the language.
I'm speaking the language. I said to him, I don't want to say don't smoke. It's a sin because you asked me that. I don't want to say don't drink, but I just feel that for myself, I think because you're a pastor's kid and because this particular kid, they say they can go better, people will go better. All of them, young boys, then they church, one of the church canopy smoke will evaporate. I judge boy was suspended. Some people don't say no, the smoking is sin, the smoking is sin. I don't that's not the context now. But you set up yourself for all the negativity. You set up yourself and begin to attract friends that will mislead you. So stay away from it if you can. Stay away from it. And I know you can't if you want to.
Okay, at this point, Dr. Priye, maybe I should just quickly chip in. You have been emphasizing it. Oh, you wear trousers. I'm keen to what KOBaba said. Exercising restraint and caution and holding yourself back is an integral part of a reasonable person. It's good to accept something might not be wrong, but it might not be necessary. You can just do away from it. I remember from my university days, I was always forced. Are you not going to open your ears also? So you see. So I never did. So I kept asking, okay, there was even a day my sister called me and said she just feel like, just like I told you, I'm not at this extreme, I'm not at this extreme, I'm in between. So you have the pastor's children that keep to everything. Some might be happy with it, some might not be happy with it. There are the others that are the rebellious end, they don't even want to hear anything. So I'm like the balance. I'm just in the middle. Yes, whatever our parents are doing, or the commandments and the rules of Christ are for our benefit, but we can still enjoy life and not be that rigid and sad because we are doing what other people expect us to do. So it's good for us to see the good sides of it, and then we have a balanced life. So just like you said, in life generally, you have to exercise caution and rest and ask yourself, this drink that they are drinking and is this what I want to do? Is the alcohol good for the body? Medically, even not going by the Bible, medically, is alcohol good for the body? Smoking. In fact, the other day I saw at Hyper City, I saw the picture of cancer. The person that is producing this thing is telling you it causes cancer, and he's putting a very bad picture of the cancer situation, and you still want to take it. So observing caution and restraint is a very integral part of life. Just don't go. Just hold yourself. Just because you see those persons that went extreme in life today, most of them are running mad because of the drugs that they took in secondary school. So just at some point in life, some things might not necessarily be sin, arguing is trousers sin, is this sin. Just tell yourself that this particular one, I don't want to cross that line. Let me just be on this side. So it preserves you. It keeps you from the wrong crowd. Definitely all those things that were done were for our good, but it was not explained to us the reasons why we should do that. So that is where it comes in. If parents, whether pastors or not, they are believers, they can make their children understand the reason why they should do what they are doing, because everything that God does is for our good. He doesn't do those things to deprive us of our happiness, but He does those things for us. But we might not see the big picture. So you make your children understand that this is the big picture. See, taking drugs now, the end is madness. You see them. You can make some examples that these ones were growing up together. They were taking tramadol, they were taking ice, they were taking everything. Some are even going. You keep going. You add it. Tramadol will not be okay. You increase it. The next thing, you are going to the soccer way to inhale physics. The next one, you are doing this. You are mixed. So the more you take in, the more devil will give you those ideas. So exercise restraint. Some things might not. The Bible said it. I don't know if it's Ephesians. So some things might not be necessary. Some things might not be sin. Yes, but how does that add value to your life? It doesn't. You just let go of it.
Okay. So we are beginning to round up. Can you please tell me, this is just speak to that young boy, that young girl. Let the person know that being a pastor's child is not actually like, you don't have a choice. They are your parents.
Yeah, they are your parents.
So you can't choose your parents. However, these are just give an advice of these are some of the things that you can do, especially these Gen Z children. These are some of the things you can do to guide yourself. And the parents don't really mean harm in trying to listen. Then also to word of advice to the parents. Don't break your children in trying to keep the rules and regulations of the church, not of the Bible. No. Sometimes the rules are not biblical rules. It's the church rules. In quest of trying to keep the church rules, some have destroyed their children and ended relationship with their church. Some children are not even talking to their parents. Again, based on that, So they saw the parents head neck into the church and neglected them. They saw their parents carry the last food give the church member and they don't have food to eat.
We're fighting about that.
Oh, you were?
Yes, we're fighting about that because my mom was in Mother Teresa. So we got angry at some point. Every time people are coming to take rice, they're coming to back. Well, I won't be wondering. So nothing stays in this house. So you always have those back and forth. But I think, just like you said, those morning devotions were good. So those morning devotions on the part of the parents now, those morning devotions should not just be
Do you do it now?
With my children.
Do you do morning devotion?
No. We don't put that pressure on. It must be a daily. It must be a family time that everybody must get. Because things have changed.
But in my case, my children are still young. The other one is 4. The other one is almost 1. So, but I know that when they get to a certain age, not too long, but like the next 3 or 4 years, I will introduce them to that. But even my 4-year-old daughter, we used to have conversations. If you have talked to me, you think I'm an adult because I trained my daughter to be very outspoken. Report things that happen in the house to me. My daughter can tell me, Mom was complaining that you have been coming back late. My daughter can share that with me. My daughter can tell me a lot of things on purpose. So we have conversations. Okay, if this happened, this is what I want you to do. So imagine 5 years from now, morning devotion would definitely be compulsory. Yes, my wife.
But not that 5 a.m. That 5 a.m.
Definitely.
Half of the time the children are sleeping.
Okay, Dr. Priye mentioned something here. I still remember statements that my dad made that are still in my head. So when you have those useful conversations and you drop words that are deep, how old am I? Stop checking my age. I know I'm 30 something. But I did not forget things that my dad said to me while I was very young. So good conversations with your children, trying to point out those things, those areas can help. And also, I don't know if you mentioned the fact that you are the creative director of White Grove British International School. Sending your children, the responsibility of taking care of children is not only with parents.
Yeah.
So one thing I've done with my children is sending them to schools where I know that good morals are being inculcated with the children is still something you can do for them. It's just like they say, it takes a whole village to train a child. As good as you are, as much as you have.
Like that. Because the way this parents... No, I run a school now, so I understand. The way the parents come, no person... I know that there was a lady that I was telling, and she told me, she said, Miss Priye, please, I know how I train my child. I know. And
the community.
No, the boy went to secondary school. Now he was suspended. I know how I trained my child. So then something happened and we're like, oh, we're doing a good job here, right? She said, no, I'm the one training my child. But your child spends like 8 hours with me.
Exactly.
Like
you can be in denial. You might be in denial of things, but that does not stop them to exist. So if you have understanding, you would put things into perspective. Just like they spend more time in the school. So sending them to places that you know that they will get good. It must not necessarily be in the church. You spend 2, 3, 4 hours. I can't even stay. I don't like staying long in the church, and I thank God my background did not. We stay reasonably in the church, 2, 3 hours in the church, apart from when we have long programs.
Let me ask a question. Sorry to cut you. Was there any time that, as we begin to round up, was there any time that, there was a program that you have to wait for your dad, you spend the whole day, you're hungry, you're tired. People have forgotten that they went to school, they went to church. Because they're the pastor.
You definitely experience that. You definitely experience that.
No, I feel for my children.
Oh, okay, Dr. Priye, let me say this. For pastors, the way I see it, and even I'm not even a pastor, but I think that's how
You're a pastor in the marketplace.
I think this is how I want to raise my children. This is how what makes children interested in church these days is from that very tender age. You get them to be part and parcel of their activities, and it's not about even preaching these days, because what happens is when the child is in the media department, children choir, learn 1, 2 equipment. They grow with an interest that keeps them within the church circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Fantastic.
This is important. Most pastors need to do this. You see that your media team, you see that I know some lot of pastors will say it's prayer team, yeah, but I'm talking of someone who, yes, we're forced to do prayer team, but when you begin to face the outside world, prayer become more spiritual, and friends are making them see as it's not supposed to be that way. But you see those children you put in there, learning how to take pictures. Their dad is preaching, they are taking pictures. Their dad is preaching, they are making videos. They are writing articles. They are the one creating captions for media teams. You see those children that they know how to play keyboard, know how to play drum. In my family, everybody knows that. Okay, I used to sing then very well. My elder, yes, my elder brother used to. He can play all the equipment. Even DJ Chris can play every equipment. The pastor now that is pastoring my father was a church drummer as well. It is important to know that you need to drive children from this angle, get them involved, let them join a team, let them join a team that is active from that very young age. Yes, don't tie them down to too much of just the spiritual angle. While you balance their spiritual life, give them activity in church. Yes, it is very important. When you travel, of course, especially for your first son or your first daughter, this is important most times. You are carrying them along as part of your team to take pictures. Part of your team is to manage wardrobe. Part of your team is to most of the things we grew up doing was prayer and evangelism. But I thank God along the line, our second son made that possible. My father saw the need to. I was at the point I was a teenage president. They started a Young Stars at Police Fellowship. They made me the president. I was like less than 13 then, and I had to be taking care of teenagers and everything.
That's why you know how to take care of people. You're so concerned about people.
I had to be taking care of, and I was very young then. I was a teenager, and I was a teenage president. Yes, and they even gave me small power to appoint schools. Anything that was support me after doing it, it was helpful. It was not just about the regular activity that looks all spiritual. So I'm saying to the spirituality, you need to bring them. Yes, there's something beautiful about talent. There's something beautiful. It has even been proven that pastors' children that are in the choir stay much more in the church than others. Yes, so you must try as much as possible, get them involved. Church has the mentalization now in church is even wide. So there's a lot of places where you can get them involved.
Tech skills.
Yes, it's very important. So I'm talking to pastors. I say, drive your children from this area. And let me also add this is important. What makes children become good is when they go back to the home front, they are seeing a father that is as godly as what he represents in the church.
Yeah.
So if I go to church, my father is holy, people are celebrating, and then he comes to the house, he's a bully. I definitely know that the child grows up knowing that I'm not supposed to live one kind of life. And it's the life where they live for church, where they live for house, supposed different. You don't even know. They see you beating their mother in their house and going to the church and preach. And they are growing up thinking that these two places are two different places.
Yeah.
But if they see a good, holy, spiritual, godly father here,
in the church,
and they see it that side, at home, it is like that. I don't want to call the advice pastor. Who am I? And then for most pastors' children, because it's our final word, I want to beg you. You can't take it away. They will always use you as standard. They will always run that comparison over you. And I want to see it in a positive way. How? I want to see it the way I used to see it. Because I know too many people are waiting for me to make a mistake for them to call on my father. I made those kind of mistakes, no doubt. I had to become more cautious. I have to be more careful. So don't run away from it. Don't say, the one who's maybe stand that they will disappoint themselves. Is the devil speaking? Let them make you a standard and see it this way that immediately people make you standard because you are a star. But when people make you a standard is because you are a leader in the making. So while they are trying to compare you and do everything, you are not living for them, you are living for yourself. Don't feel that I will disappoint them. No, don't disappoint them. Don't worry. Wait for it. But it's important you know this. You are living your life for yourself, not for your father. I'm not also happy when too many. I used to tell my brothers that, but they disagree with me. My mom agrees with me. My mom was of the opinion that please, all your brothers are pastors, don't be a pastor. So when I told my mom, at first I used to do a lot of motivation, go to places, talk, MC. My mother was still scared. So when I told her I wanted to start doing comedy, she said yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So she was your first
Yes, you know what?
cheerleader.
I told Stewart first, second son, and he asked me a lot of questions. I gave him reason, and Stewart said okay. And he started supporting me. He was now making comment card for me. So when I told my mom even bought one night of 1,000 laugh. The first one.
Oh, thank you, mommy. Mother should actually support their children.
So in my head, man, my mom don't want my be pastor because I my dad was not a pastor that was seeing too many prosperity. But you have too many people that you still need to give the little that you have. Yes. But I can honestly tell you that anywhere my dad is, he's proud of me. And that's important. Make your parents proud is important. Make God proud is important. Please forget the pressure will be there. If you leave this side, say, no, pass up, no one be, you still have the pressure. You can't run away from it.
Okay, I think K has already taken the words out of my mouth, like he has analyzed it.
No, you are deeper than I go deep.
Exactly. So parents have a role to play. The children also have a role to play. Today we are the parents that our parents once were. So all what we are saying now, we're expected to do that to our children. Parents should be understanding, just like the Bible said, parents don't provoke your children to anger. Communication is very key. Speak to them about, and whatever it is in the family, don't keep any room for the devil to plant things in your children. So always speak to your children, communicate with them. In fact, take them out, take them on vacations, family vacations. You can sit there and discuss as a family, away from the pressure of the church and everything. And also children should understand that that is the ministry that their parents are called into. Is God that called them. I don't think any call is from man. It is a call of God. So the best they can do is to support their parents to achieve that call of God. And they don't even know whether they will be pastors themselves. You know, the way you see things as children today, your view of life could change. Some of the persons that didn't want anything to do with their parents being pastors are actually pastors today. And then parents should look at their children. You don't deal with every child in the same way. You look at the peculiarity of a child and deal with them. There are these ones that are very obedient, you know how to deal with them. There are the ones that they don't want anything to do with it. You think of a way to deal with them. Just like you said, there are many aspects, not just prayer and choir. There's those that are technically inclined, that have tech skills. They can bring all of that to bear and make the church an interesting. The church should look like a family and not the pressure. And sometimes as a pastor, you can speak to those members, just like our general superintendent, Pastor W.F. Kumi. I see him as a mentor and a leader. Currently, he has understood that times have changed. You see him in his messages talking to those persons. Marriage committee, he speaks to them. Don't chase these children out of the church. Make this church a place for them to. So with knowledge comes, when you have more knowledge, you have to act it. So there's this change. There's this dynamism that's come from knowledge that we have gotten. So as a pastor, from time to time, if you see areas in the church, areas that are of concern, use the Bible to correct them. Don't keep quiet and allow maybe some set of persons that the devil are using to destroy the church and cause problems between parents, youths, and teenagers. Just like the general superintendent is doing. He's telling them, let these children be. Give them. We're not saying that they should go into a gay lifestyle and things that are against the Bible, or getting pregnant and bringing in the church. Make these children understand what God's expectations for them are, and that the expectations of God for us is not to destroy us or to rob us of our youthful life, but is to give us long and everlasting life. So when we are able to balance between parents, teachers, church leaders. I was in the choir. I've always been interested in youth. I've always been interested in the sisterhood, and I still do that. Not as a reverend or as a pastor, but whenever I see, just like the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to do whatever it takes to come here and give my 1 cent. So we can, in our various ways, contribute to the betterment of the church and the society at large. The church actually makes the society. So parents, pastors, children of pastors, it is a calling. A child of a pastor is a calling. So embrace it and be that good example. And in all ways you can, try to live a life that will be pleasing to God. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, my lovely guest, KOBaba and Vicky June.
Thank you very much.
I'm so glad and excited for this meeting. I've always wanted it. I'm going to send it to my daughter to watch, because she's a pastor's child and she feels that all her uncles are pastors, and she feels a bit trapped. I remember the day she asked me, oh, I saw in the school that she was wearing a leg chain, and I was like, leg chain? And she mentioned, this my cousin is wearing leg chain, that my cousin is wearing leg chain. I said, okay, auntie. She said, mommy, open the Bible and show me where it is. And I remember this my small child, and I gave birth to it. The one telling me that I had to now adjust myself, and I looked at her straight in the eyes. I said, my dear, do you see me wearing leg chain? She said, no, because you don't want to, but I want to. I said, my dear, as I'm here now, remove the leg chain. So I came back and told the dad, and he was talking to her. Like I said, there are some things that I experienced.
But I like it.
That's
my one.
Beautiful. Like some people say that, okay, there are different things people wear, but you ask yourself this question:
what is that thing?
What is the purpose for? What is the purpose of it? But we cannot also say it. Today, my husband was reading.
We'll hold this conversation. With this lecture.
And West Beach.
And I stay away from all of them. I just told myself, no West Beach.
No, I don't wear rings, jewelry. She has additional. I need to wear. But I don't know why I like my wife to wear it. Why I don't like to wear it. And because my wife is wearing it, my daughter feel come now. Begin to wear.
Anyways, we are ending this particular topic. Another time we have to gather together and talk of what are the things that the world is doing and other people are doing that we should do or we shouldn't. I don't think that there's a hard and fast rule towards it. But the most important thing is, like I always used to say, be the example. There's something that tripped me so much. It's the life of Donald Trump. I'm not his fan, but I saw him say something to his son. Have you noticed that none of his children have tattoo on their body? None of his children will wear sag trousers. They are,
Always
they are all well behaved. Even inside when he was not having any plans to be president. That means there's a standard at which if you want to get to the top, I should go.
It's good person.
So that is how I sat and looked at my life and told myself that I don't want any distraction. This is what I'm going to. Like you said, if you sit around people and start smoking, they will introduce tramadol to you. If you sit down at the end of the day, you walk into a place, there's a way you will dress. Yeah. They will begin to associate you with those kind of people. There's a way somebody walk into a place, and whether you wear ring as a married woman or not, your whole chest is showing. A woman will come and say, "Oh, nah, how are you? Can I give you my card?" Because to you are offering yourself. It's seeing a language that they are not speaking, but that's later for another thing. So we have come to the end of today's topic. We are glad that you are here. Thank you, KOBaba, for coming. And thank you, Vicky June, for coming. We are grateful. And to all the pastor's children, you don't have anything to lose. Your parents are not bad people. You might think that they're putting you under too much pressure. They are not. They just want you not to disappoint the God that they are serving. So you can sit with them and tell them that you are too hard, or can we break it down like that? But don't form a rebellious team fighting your father, and everything. Because if you do something that is not right, he goes into his house and he's crying. He feels that he has failed God and all of that. So you don't want your parents. They do some of these things because they love you. Just know that the reason they take some of those decisions is out of love that they have for you. God bless you and have a fantastic day.